So, Kal Kalosh Boker Tov, we're going to continue with Daf Tzadik Aleph. Sorry, Tzadik Daled, Amud Aleph. This is 94A1. Okay, so we're going to start. Yesterday, we were just speaking about, we almost got to the 2 points, but we'll just start again the Gemara. The Gemara said, right on the bottom of Tzadik Gimel Amud Bet, the Gemara said, Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in the Braita, if somebody's going to take out food, like the shiur of a kogeret, im bekli, if he's going to take it out on a utensil, he's going to be chayav on the food, but he's going to be exempt on the utensil, because since the utensil is tafel, it is secondary to the food, he's going to be exempt. However, though, if he needed the utensil for the food, so then he's going to be chayav on both, also on the food and also on the utensil. It says the Gemara, Shma mina, you learn from here. If you accidentally came and you ate 2 kezites of chelev, of prohibited fats, accidentally in one shot, you should be chayav 2 different chataot. Why? Because just like the chatat, the previous Braita told you, you're going to be chayav 2 chataot, one on the food and one on the utensil when you need the utensil. So if you ate 2 different types of food, you should be chayav on 2 different types of, meaning 2 kezitim. Should be chayav 2 chataot. Amar Rav Sheshat, says Rav Sheshat, Hacha Maskin, what are you talking about? Here we're dealing with Kigon, for example, Sheshagag ala ochli vezid ala kli. You made a mistake on the food, but you knew you were doing the kli. So therefore, the fact that you said you're going to be chayav on the kli is that you're chayav even sekilah, because you knew you were bringing the kli out, the utensil out, and not a chatat. So you can't bring a proof if somebody's going to eat 2 kezetei chelev, right, that you're going to be chayav 2 chataot. It's not true. So ask the Gemara, Matkif la Ravashi, Ravashi asks, V'ha af ala kli ktani. It says also on the kli. So when it says also, it's mashma, it's the same chiyuv. It's not af ala kli means the kli you're chayav skila, which is a death penalty, stoning, and then on the food you're going to be chayav achatat. It doesn't make sense. When it says af, it means also. Also means the same din, the same halacha, not completely different. So in Ravashi, but rather Ravashi says, what are you dealing with? You made a mistake on both, on the utensil and also on the food. Okay? So he says, v'nodalo, and you found out, v'nodalo, and then you found out about the other one, which means that we're only going to say you're going to be obligated to 2 chataot, right, if you were noda, right, in both times, in the same time. However, though, if you were found out on 2 different times, maybe Mehmet, you're not going to be chayav the 2 different chataot. It's a machlok between Rabbi Yochanan and Shimon Lakish when you have 2 shogegs behelem echad, 2 accidentals in one shot, right? And you found out at 2 different times, are you going to be chayav 2 or are you going to be chayav 1? So Rav Ashi holds like Rabbi Yochanan that when you found out at different times, you're chayav twice. And that's what he was talking about in our case. But Rav Sheshat, he holds like Resh Lakish that you're only going to be chayav 1. Okay, so that's just to explain the Braita of our Mishnah, what we just explained over here. Okay, fine. Now we went to explain the next part of the Mishnah, where the next part of the Mishnah was explaining to us that if you took out a live person, a person that's alive, on a bed on Shabbat, are you chayav also on the bed or not? So says the Gemara, right? Leima matzniti in Rabbi Natanhi, v'lo Rabbanan. We have to say that our Mishnah is like Rabbi Natan and not like Rabbanan. The Tanya was learned in a Braita. Hamotzi be'ema chayav of l'shut rabim. If you took out an animal, a wild animal or a bird, to the reshut rabim, to the public domain, ben chayin ben shchutin, whether they were alive or dead, chayav, you're going to be chayav. Rabbi Natan says, al shchutin chayav, if you already did shechita, you're going to be chayav. But if they're alive, it's patur. Why? Shachai noset atzmo. Because the live being carries itself. That's a famous concept that we've learned many times already in the past, if you remember, that because when a person passes away, since the neshama is not there anymore, so therefore it's only the gush, so therefore it doesn't carry itself. Since it doesn't carry itself, that's why a dead person is much heavier than a live person. Okay? So it comes out that the chai noset atzmo, that a person that's living, he carries himself. So according to the Rabbanan, that you're going to be chayav also on taking out the live person. So if so, our Mishnah that says you're going to be patur is obviously going like Rabbi Natan, not like Rabbanan. So says the Gemara, no. Amar Rava, Rava says, you could also say it's Rabbanan. Why? When is it that the rabbis argue on Rabbi Natan? Only by Be'emah Chayav Ve'of. Only by an animal, a wild animal, or a bird. That what they do is that they push themselves down, meaning that they don't want to be carried. So they purposely are pushing themselves to the ground. And therefore they're making themselves heavier and you have to carry them. But a human being that he does carry himself, so even the rabbis agree. Meaning that when somebody's going to pick you up, you're not going to make yourself purposely heavier, right? You make yourself lighter and you let yourself be picked up. However, though, right, what happens though is that it's not the same halacha to do with an animal. So Amar le Ravada barava le Rava says Ravada barava to the Ava vehaditznan, and that which we learned in the Mishnah, ben betera matir besus. A ben betera permits to sell a sus, a horse, to a goy. Now, even though it's an isur d'Rabbanan to sell any type of behema gasa, a big animal, right? Whether it's a para or a chamor, a donkey or a cow to a goy, because maybe he's going to come and start renting it out or lending it to a goy, and it comes out that they are going to go against the halacha on Shabbat. On Shabbat, you have an isur, right, of the shvitat behema, which means your animal cannot work on Shabbat. Your utensils can work on Shabbat. That's why your lights are allowed to be on Shabbat. Your plata is allowed to be on Shabbat. Your utensils are allowed to work on Shabbat, but not your animal. Shvitat behema is much stricter than shvitat kli. So it says, V'tanya, we learned in the Braita. Ben betera matir besus. He says a horse is always permitted because a horse never does a melacha which you're chayav chatat. Meaning, what do you do on a horse? You ride on a horse, but it's not that the horse is plowing, it's planting, it's threshing, it's bringing, it's doing work on Shabbat. So V'amar Rabbi Yochanan, it says Rabbi Yochanan, Ben betera v'Rabbi Natan amru d'var echad. They both say the same concept. Which means that even though somebody's on top of it, they're not really carrying them. Because the person alive that he's carrying himself. So says the Gemara, now if you're going to tell me that the rabbis do not argue in Rabbi Natan, only by Be'emah Chayav, and why? Because they make themselves heavier and they push themselves down.
It's from the Aseret Birot B'himtecha.
Exactly, from the Aseret Dibrot, from the Ten Commandments.
How could a horse is not Hayav?
No, because that's why we just said it. Because Shvitat Be'emto is only if they do a melacha on Shabbat. A horse is not doing a melacha on Shabbat. So he says, why is the horse not doing melacha on Shabbat? Because even if you're on top of the horse and the horse is carrying you, Chay noset atzmo. The person that's alive is carrying himself, so he's not really doing anything. If anything, maybe there might be an isur d'Rabbanan.
Carrying on a horse is not a melacha?
Which one?
When a horse is carrying somebody, is not a melacha?
That's what we just said, no. Because if you say the Chay noset atzmo, the Chay is carrying himself. The horse is not carrying you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What isur is there? The Rabbanan, but not Doraita.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's what we're asking now. We said now, if you're going to tell me that the rabbis do not argue on Rabbi Natan, and they're only arguing in a case of Be'emah Chayavot because they push themselves down, my idia ben betera Rabbi Natan. Why did you say ben betera Rabbi Natan? Even the rabbis agree. Because the rabbis agree, right, also to the same yesod, that the concept is that by a human being, he carries himself, and by any other type of animal, he pushes himself down. So therefore, why are you telling me only Rabbi Natan and Ben Betera? Everybody agrees to it. Not only Ben Betera and Rabbi Natan. So answers the Gemara, Ki Kama Rabbi Yochanan, what was Rabbi Yochanan saying? This in Shitat Rabbi Natan, Besusan Yuchad Leofot. It's a sus, it's a horse that only carries birds. So since it's a horse that only carries birds, it is Doraita. Why is it Doraita? Because the birds never carry themselves. And therefore the horse has to carry it. So it is doing a Doraita. And therefore that's what we're talking about over here. So you can't sell that type of a horse to a goy, because again, then you're going to have a problem. Okay. Okay, yeah, the footnote just says exactly what we said about the Ten Commandments, and he says about the Doraita, not the Doraita. and so on and so forth. Okay, very good. Says the Gemara, Umika susam yuchal leofot? Does there exist such a concept as a horse that is designated only for birds? It says, does it exist? He says, it says the Gemara, im yes, ika deve vayadan. There's a sus that basically the trappers of birds, the bird hunters, they use, which that's called bevayadan. These are the trappers. So therefore it's designated just for that. So Amar Rabbi Yochanan says, the same halacha would apply by a human being or by a bird that is tied down. Also, we don't say chay noset atzmo. Meaning, if somebody's tied up, he's not carrying himself. He's completely bound. He can't move. So therefore, he doesn't carry himself, and it's going to be the same halacha that is going to be chayav. So Amar le Ravada bar Matna la Abaye, says Ravada bar Matna to Abaye, the hani parsaya de command kfitu dam. He says, 1 second. Sometimes these Persians, they're like that. They're tied down. Why? Because they put on very, very wide clothing. And therefore, what happens is that they can't even put their legs on the ground. So it's considered like they're tied down. So also it should be prohibited. They said the same halacha. So it comes out that they're also like futim. So again, why are you telling us now that Rabbi Natan says that any time that it's going to be tied down, that it's a sulim kolo sus? Same thing. So says the Gemara, no. Hatam, in the case of these Persians, right, they could carry themselves. Their gasut ruach, their haughtiness himself, is what's carrying them. Because there was a katzin, there was like a general, a Persian general, that the king got angry at him. And he ran in front of him 3 parsaot beraglav, which means that he was able to run very quickly. 3 parsaot is very long. So they ran very, very far. So therefore, you see from here that they were able to come and to run with their clothing. Even with these type of clothing, they were able to run without any problem as well. Okay? Fine. 2 dots. We said if somebody's going to carry a dead person on Shabbat with a bed, so he's going to be chayav. Or the same halacha would apply with kazayit namet. So Amar Rav Chanan Yochanan says Rav Chanan Yochanan Rav Yosef ben Shimon Lakish, and says Rav Yosef ben Shimon Lakish, Hoter hayad Rabbi Shimon would exempt Tzadik Daled Amud Bet 94b. Af b'motzi et hamet lekovro, even if you're going to take him out to bury him, which means not just stam you're taking him out outside. Even if you're taking him out to bury him, you're still going to say that it's going to be patur. Right? Why? Because it's still melacha shenitzcha legufa. You don't need the body. Right? That means even though you're burying the deceased, but you don't need the body, you're not getting it from it. So Amar Rava says, Umoder Bishimon agrees, B'mar lachpor bo, V'sefer Torah likrot bo dechayav. That if you're going to take out a medar is like a shovel, or like, I don't know what better word, there's a medar, is like, it's a type of a shovel, right? That you're coming to, like to chisel. It's like, like you're coming to take something to dig, right? Or a sefer Torah to read in it, you're going to be chayav. Why? Because that's what we're saying, that's going to be chayav. So pshita, obviously, di haninami, but if you're going to tell me that this is also melachat tzeicha legufa, so what is the melachat tzeicha legufa? Here you need it. When you take out a sefer Torah, right, in order to read from it, you need the sefer Torah. So the melacha of taking it out, you need it in order to read from it. So says the Gemara, Mao the tema, I would have thought to say, Ad deika legufo legufa, that you need tzorech of the gufo of the melacha and gufa shel melacha, which means you need it for the chefetz, not the melacha is doing it, right? That means you need it for the object itself as well. For example, you're taking out the smar la solotas to make it straight, right? Like to make a piece of metal straight, right? Velachpor, right? Or you're taking out a sefer Torah lagia to do hagam a sefer Torah velikrobo and to also read it. So Kamashmalan comes to teach you that you don't need it, which means I would have had the havamina that you need, that it needs the melachat tzeicha legufa for both. For you, which means the melacha plus the object itself. So you took out a sefer Torah not only to read from it, because that's only for you or for the hotza'ah, for taking it out, but also for the sefer Torah itself, because you're doing hagah. You're revising it in order to make sure that there's no mistakes, or like the other case, right? However, though, he says if it was that's coming to teach you, no. That as long as you're taking it out for yourself, meaning for the melacha, it's already Melcha Shetzricha L'Gufan, you're going to be Chayav. Okay? Hahu is like the axe that we're talking about. This is the mar, lasot lo tas velachpor. Right? That means you made for it like a metal shield in order to, because before it was all choppy. So you didn't want like a choppy axe like that. You wanted it straight. So you took it out and then you made it this metal piece on the bottom. And then, right, you wanted to use it. Okay? Fine. Says the Gemara, Hahu shachva dehava b'drokara. There was a deceased in the city of Drokara. So now he was in the Reshut Yachid, and they had to take it out because it was it was a disgrace. So what happened is that, or because of the sun, or because it was a fire, and they had to take it out. So Sharav Nachman Maritza Lapuke le Carmelit. So they permitted him to take it out into the Carmelit. Remember, Carmelit is not Oraita, it's the Rabbanan. Okay, it's not a public domain, it's not a private domain, it's in the middle. Amar le Rabbi Yochanan, Achua de Morbere de Rabbana, le Rav Nachman Yitzchak. Says Rabbi Yochanan, the brother of Morbere, the son of Rabbana, to Rav Nachman Yitzchak. Kiman, who's the one that's permitting this? It has to be like Rabbi Shimon, right? 1 second. He says, Eimar de Patar Rabbi Shimon mechiyuv chatat. Isura de Rabbana meyeika. So 1 second. Rabbi Shimon just said that it's patur from a chatat, but you're still going to be chayav. It's still Isur de Rabbanan. So Amalei, he told him, Elohim, right? He said like a shua, he swore, Da'il be'at, that you yourself would have come and you would have helped take out the deceased. Right? That it's even permitted lechatchila. And even according to Rabbi Yehuda, that he's always machmir and arguing on Rabbi Shimon. Shari. Why? Did I ever permit to take it out to the Reshut Rabim? The Karmelit Kamina. You only said it's permitted to take it out to the Karmelit. Gadol kavod habriot shedocheh lo taseh b'Torah. Gadol kavod habriot is so strong. The respect and the dignity of a human being, it pushes off a negative commandment from the Torah. Okay? Tanan Hatam. We learned over there in the Mishnah Negaim. Hatolesh simanet tumah. If somebody's going to take out 2 white hairs from a baheret, right, vichva amichya, or that he came and he burnt the michyat basarchai baset, which means that he had leprosy, but he took off the evidence. The evidence was the 2 hairs, and then he took it off. Or he had a michva, right, vichva michya. He went and he burned off the maneh echad of nega. He took it off. Over below dase, he's going to be hishama v'nega tzarat. It says in the Torah, you have to be careful because of the affliction of tzarat, which means that now that you're taking it off and you're hiding the evidence that you had leprosy, you're transgressing this negative commandment. Itmar, it was stated, achat mishtayim chayav. If you took off 1 out of the 2 hairs, you're going to be chayav. Achat mishalosh, but if you took off 1 out of the 3, Rav Nachman says you're going to be chayav. Rav Sheshat says you're going to be patur. Rav Nachman says chayav because it still helps. The mishtak lachad achrid was if you would take off another one, right? There's no more tumah anymore. But Rav Sheshat says you're going to be patur because right now you didn't take off the tumah. If you only took off 1 out of the 3, you still have two which are tameh. So therefore, you didn't actually remove the tumah from yourself, and therefore you're going to be patur. So Amar Rav Sheshat says, Rav Sheshat, mina mina la. How do I know this? It's not as we learned in the Mishnah. The kazait mina metu, kazait mina la chayav. Ha! If you're going to take out a half of a kazait, you're going to be patur. But Tanya, we learned chatzi zay mina metu, you're going to be chayav. So my love had the Tanya chayav de apik chatzi zay mi kazait. We're not talking that you're going to be chayav when you took out a half a kazait from a full kazait. The had itram patur, when we said you're going to be patur, is you took out a half a kazait from a 1.5. So says the Gemara, Rav Nachman, but according to Rav Nachman, idi chayav, you're both always going to be chayav. The had itram patur, when do we say you're going to be patur? When you took out of half a kazait from a met gadol, from a huge met, you only took out half a kazait. That's why you're going to be patur. But in any other case, you're always going to be chayav. So each one answered according to his own logic, right? According to Rav Sheshat, he answered that when you're going to be chayav, it's you took off a half a kazait, right, from a full kazait. But when are you going to be patur? When you took off a half a kazait from a kazait and a half. So therefore, since when you took off the half a kazait, you still had the full kazait that you'd be chayav on, that's why you're going to be patur, right? Because you still left over a full shiur. Okay? Fine. Clear until here?
Yes.
Okay. Hanotel tzipornav zo bezo. If a person came and used his nails, one to take off the other nail, so since he's not doing it in a normal way, or beshinav, or he bit off his teeth, right? He cut his teeth with his teeth, his nails with his teeth. Mechen se'aro, or he took off the hair from his head, or sfamo, right? Or zikano, from his safam, from the mustache, or from the zakan, from the beard. Mechen agudelet, or a woman that she's making her hair, she's braiding her hair, or kochelet, or she's putting on color on her eyes, or all these things. Rabbi Eliezer says in all these cases, you're going to be chayav chatat, because you remove the hair. Chachamim say, it's only in Isur D'Rabbanan. So in all these cases where you took off, whether it's a hair or a nail, not in the normal way, it's only Isur D'Rabbanan. Amar Rabbi Elazar says, Rabbi Elazar, machloket is biyad. The machloket is only if you took it off with your hand. That's going to be the machloket. However, though, the kli, if you cut your nails or your hair with a utensil, you're going to be chayav according to everybody. Because of gozez, because you cut off, you're shearing. Right? Just like you were shearing wool of a sheep in the Mishkan, you're going to be chayav. So too, when you're cutting your nails or cutting your hair, you're shearing, whether it's the hair or the nails from the human body. So says the Gemara, Pshita, obviously, we learned zo bezo, meaning only if you took off your nails from one nail to another nail. Nobody spoke about a utensil. So says the Gemara, no. I would have thought to say that the rabbis are exempting also in a utensil. Right? Why? Because he says, because it's only going to be by tzemer, by wool of an animal, that you're going to be chayav gozez. And that which we learned zo bezo is to teach you the koach of Rabbi Eliezer, right? That still he's going to say that you're going to be chayav. Kamashmanan comes to teach you that according to everybody you're going to be chayav if you do with the utensil. Amar Rabbi Elazar says Rabbi Elazar, machloket is to yourself. That means if you took off your own hair or nails. But if you're taking it off from your friend, according to everybody you're going to be patur. Right? Why? Because it's not normal, right, to take it off. Right?
What's the difference?
What?
What's the difference?
Because it's not normal for you to cut your friend's nails with your hands or your teeth.
But there is a possibility.
Even if it's not a possibility. Rashi says it's not normal. The Ran says it's not normal because it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Would you bite, let's say you would bite your own nails, but would you bite your friend's nails?
Not my friend, maybe my young boy, yeah. I mean,
maybe your son, that's something different. But you
know?
Your son.
I'm not saying I would do it, but I'm saying...
You would change your son's diaper. I don't know if you would change your friend's diaper.
Never.
You understand? Even if they're both babies, you understand? You understand? Meaning that it's a child. The truth is that Rabbeinu Bachya says in Chovot HaLevavot that is the biggest miracle that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did in the world. That even though women are usually much cleaner than men, they're much more meticulous and much more, they get disgusted much more than men in a lot of things. He says still the women are the ones that they'll change their own babies. That's a chesed that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did, a miracle, in order that they would be able to take care of their children.
That's true.
You understand? But think about it. You understand? Like a man, you see something like big deal, shchita, this, that,
yeah.
Big deal. You understand? Women, they get all disgusted. Right. You understand? But it's the biggest miracle that for them, right, for the children, they have such a love for their children, they're able to do everything. Understand? It's mamash chesed. So again, here you would never never bite, right, your friend's nails. You understand? So because of that, for your friend, according to everybody, it would be patur. Okay? So says the Gemara, well, one second. Pshita, obviously, sipor naftanan. We learned your own nails, not your friend's nails. So it says, no. I would have thought to say Rabbi Eliezer, according to Eliezer, even if you do it to your friend's nails, you would also be chayav. That which we learned sipor to teach you the koach of the Rabbanan, that even if you're going to take your own nails, Kamashmanan comes to teach you, Rabbi Elazar, that when you're cutting your friend's nails, you're going to be patur according to everybody. Okay? Again, we're not talking about a utensil, because with a utensil, you would do it. Nowadays, the manicure and everything, you go there, that's with the nail cutters. You understand? People do it all the time. That's their job. Okay? Fine. Same halacha would apply to your hair. Well, they're talking about the beard, the mustache. Tana, we learned in the Braita. If you're going to take the entire fitting of the scissors, you're going to be chayav. That means according to the Chachamim, if you took it with a utensil, or according to the Eliezer, even with your hand, but it has to be the measurement, not of one hair, it has to be melot li azog. That's what it says here. A full of the top of the scissors. Okay, that amount of hair. So says the Gemara, "Kama melot li azog." Amar Rav Yehuda says 2 hairs. Says the Gemara, "V'atanya we learned in the Braita l'kurcha shtayim." It has to be 2 hairs to do with a kurcha on the met, which means that we have a negative commandment that we're not allowed to pull out the hairs for a deceased person. In the olden days, they would come, if somebody died, they would come, they would start pulling out the hairs. They were so upset. It's an isur doraita, you're not allowed to. Lo tasimu kurcha ben enechem lamet. So it says, why? Because we are mamlechet kohanim v'vei kadosh. We are the children of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're not allowed to do these things. We're not allowed to afflict in ourselves these different things. So it says the Gemara, you're right. Ema dechen lekurcha shtayim. It's the same halacha. Whether it's to take out your 2 hairs or to cut the 2 hairs on Shabbat, it's the same halacha. Tanya miyachi, we also learned in the Braita, notel melot li azog b'Shabbat chayav. You're going to take out like the full thing of the mouth of a scissors. You're going to be chayav. Kama melot li azog shtayim. Rabbi Eliezer omer achat. He says even 1 hair. However, though Rabbi Chachamim are modim to Rabbi Eliezer, if you're going to pull out a white hair, right? I've got here 1 white hair. If you're going to pull that out from the black hairs, you're going to be chayav, right? Why? It's going to be chayav even during the weekday. But it says in the pasuk, which means since women dye their hair black because it's not nice for them to look old, so they come and they dye their hairs. So therefore, for men, it's also prohibited to dye their hair, right? Just since women do it, it's prohibited for a man to do, because men are not allowed to copy what women do, right? So therefore, what happens is that if you're going to start dyeing your hair, it's going to be a soul. Okay? Tanya, we learned in the Braita. Mishimon Lazar says, if you have a nail, the majority of it separated already, or tzitzin, or you had a few different, sometimes on the top of the skin, there's little tiny pieces of skin right by the nails that come out. So the shepishu ruban, by yad, if you're going to take it off with your hand, it's going to be permitted on Shabbat. The kli, but if you take it off with the utensil, it's going to be chayav on Shabbat. So says the Gemara, does it exist? Such a thing that if you do with utensil, you're going to be chayav chatat, and if you do with your hand, it's mutar lechatchila. So says the Gemara, hachikam, and this is what it means to say. Pirshu ruban, if the majority of the nail or of these pieces of skin separated, so it says, bayad, it's going to be mutar lechatchila. Bekli, it's going to be patur v'lasur. Okay, lo pirshu ruban, but if it didn't separate the majority of it, bayad is going to be patur v'lasur, and bekli, you're going to be chayav chatat. So it all depends what happened. Okay? It says Rav Yehuda, halacha Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. Halacha is like Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. So Amar Rabbi Yochanan says Rabbi Yochanan, Ehu shepirshu klape mala umetzarot oto. That's only if it's separating upwards. This is talking about the tzitzin, which are the little tiny pieces of skin that they're separating upwards, and it's bothering him, meaning it's hurting him. So therefore, you're able to get rid of it. You're able to cut it off. Okay? There's actually a machloket in halacha. What does that mean? What is klape mala? There's a whole thing here. So that's halakha masay. We have to check there. Fine. It says in Mishnah, V'chena gudelet, or a woman that she's braiding her hair, or she's dyeing, right? She's putting color around her eyes, or all these things, and things are coming out. Gudelet kochelet pokaser. Why are you going to be chayav? When you're braiding your hair, it's like you're braiding, right? You're weaving together things. Kochelet, you're going to be chayav mishum kotevet. So from here we learn a woman's not allowed to braid her hair on Shabbat. Kochelet, she's going to be chayav because of kotevet. She's writing. Because when she's putting color around her eyes, it's like she's writing. Pokeset, it's like she's tova, she's kneading. How do you translate poskeset in English? Either she's brushing her hair, right? Which is like weaving.
Oh, yes.
Spinning.
Spinning. Or she's hands in oil and putting it in between. Like she's putting like gel on her hair. Remember, gel is also prohibited to put on Shabbat. Okay? Amru Rabbanan kamed Rabbi Yavu. Says the rabbis in front of Rabbi Yavu. Is it normal? Do you write this way? Do you weave this way? Do you spin this way? Obviously not. And Rabbi Yavu says Rabbi Yavu, the demon the Rabbi Yosef Chanina for me was explained. Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina, right? Sadikei Amud Aleph. Kochelet is because of tzovat, you're coloring. Udelet ubukazeh b'shum boneh, because you're building. So says the Gemara, is it normal to build that way? When you braid your hair, you're building? So says the Gemara, yes. Just like Rishon Menashe says, Vayiven Hashem Elokim et hatzelah. Right? What does that mean? HaKadosh Baruch Hu built her from the tzelah, from the thigh. And the Medrash HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right, he came and he braided Chava like a kala. If he had to Adam Rishon, he brought it to Adam Rishon, which means he wanted to beautify Chava, right? Which remember, Chava was the most beautiful woman in the world. More than Sarai, more than any other woman in the world. Chava was the most beautiful woman in the world, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu braided her hair to bring her to Adam Rishon to make sure that she was pretty in his eyes, in order that he would be able to marry her. So therefore, because of that, it's certain by even that he built her. You see from here that braiding hair is called building. Okay, so therefore, if a woman braids her on Shabbat, it's like binyan. So question.
But the braiding, sorry, the braiding is not permanent. It's not about going to be permanent.
You're right, but even if it's not going to be permanent, it's still going to be chayav. I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's domen lebinyan. That's what I remember. I don't remember if it's an isur doraita. Yeah. It says it here in the footnote. Look in the footnote, it's a Rambam. According to the rabbis, these things are nid'im ki binyan. They look like binyan. And therefore, it's isur d'Rabbanan. It's not isur doraita. It's still a sur on Shabbat, right? But we won't stone you for it.
Yes.
There's only lashes in Rabbanan, right? But it's Rabbanan. Okay?
Hazak Baruch.
Ruchim to you. So, Lina, we can.
Hazak Baruch.
Yezat Hashem.